Hello, Dr. Friedman. So glad you could join us today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Paul Lafferty. I'm with Avery's Little Army and an organization founded in memory of my daughter, Avery Lafferty. And we're part of the DIPG DMG collaborative. We're here, very pleased that you could join us today. We have some very exciting news for you. Our 28 organization or 28 sponsored organizations have come together and unanimously decided to award you a grant that you requested for $99,000.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you.
And with that, I would like to hand it over to Keith.
Well, thank you, Dr. Friedman. We appreciate you joining us to talk a little bit about your grant, but we figured we would give you some good news to kick it off because it's a project that is certainly exciting, and we want to learn a little bit more about it. Um, I'm Keith Ezrick. I am with the Cure Starts Now, also the DIPG DMG Collaborative, and this is a grant that certainly is supported also internationally. We have a total of 80 organizations between chapters and the collaborative members. And
Well,
it's something that certainly we want to support you and we want to see some of this work actually start to happen. So, with that, I also want to introduce Jackie to offer her congratulations as well.
Good evening, Dr. Freeman. Thank you for joining us tonight. Like he said, I am Jackie Criswell, and I am with the Cure Starts Now. I'm their Director of Chapters and Family Support. But more importantly, I am the proud aunt to Elena, who is a DIPG angel. So that makes your work that much more personal and mean that much more to families like us. So, congratulations on this grant and the incredible work that you're doing. Thank you very much. It means a lot. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Rachel.
Hello, Dr. Friedman. My name is Rachel, and I'm the Research Support Coordinator at the Cure Starts Now. Congratulations on your grant. We are so excited for you and the potential that this research holds. And with that, I just wanted to ask for our listeners, immunotherapy has been around for a while. Can you please explain what is new or novel about your approach?
certainly. So, one type of immunotherapy you've heard about are immune checkpoint inhibitors. Um, the idea of those is to wake up exhausted T cells that are trying to fight the cancer. Our approach, so if you will, that might be sort of trying to take off a break. Immune checkpoints are kind of a break on the T cells, and you're kind of trying to take the foot off the brake. They've been tried in, DIPG and other aggressive brain tumors without a lot of success. And part of the problem is that there aren't a lot of T cells there to get going when you take off the brake. So our approach, I kind of view it as kind of putting a foot on the gas, trying to put more active T cells there. And perhaps in combination with their immune checkpoint inhibitors, as we propose in our proposal, as part of the proposal, will then allow enough anti-tumor activity to show a benefit. And as you saw from our proposal, we already see responses just by putting the foot on the gas, if you will, but we're trying to improve it by sort of getting more cells there to the tumor with our antibody and CAR approaches, and therefore have even more gas, if you will. And then as the third aim to add the immune checkpoint inhibitors to get things going even more. So I don't know if that's helpful. I can say more, but in particular, the way that we're trying to get more T cells to the tumor are using what are called myeloid cells. So DIPG and many other solid tumors have inside of them not just the malignant cancer cells themselves, but white blood cells, myeloid cells that have been extracted from the blood or the brain, And the tumors, cancer cells are smart. So they want to defeat the body's immune system. So they attract myeloid cells and direct them to behave in a certain way that inhibits T cells from working. Sometimes people call them M2 myeloid cells, anti-inflammatory, where inflammation is where you have the T cells working. So what we do is we generate so-called M1 or activated myeloid cells that are genetically locked because we gene edit, we change their DNA, their genes, so that when they reach the tumor, the proteins that the cancers are secreting that are trying to make them M2 to favor tumor growth can't work on them. And they are genetically locked in this M1 position and can secrete proteins to attract and then activate the T cells to help fight the cancer. And when T cells become activated, they naturally, just the way they are, become exhausted. But then if you add in the immune checkpoint inhibitors to remove the break, remove the exhaustion, then it might be the best possible combination. So we're using myeloid cells as a myeloid cell therapy. You could kind of think as our proposal as a CAR myeloid. You've heard of CAR T cells, where people put antibodies into the surface of a T cell to get it to go and kill the solid tumors or leukemia cells or leukemia, lymphoma. So these are CAR myeloid. Our cells have some advantages perhaps over CAR T cells because CAR T cells can only kill the cancer cells that express the target protein. So whether that's GD2 or something else. So if, but unfortunately cancer cells are heterogeneous. Some express, some don't. They can become resistant by down-regulating and removing from their surface the target. Whereas the myeloid cells go there and they activate all sorts of T cells that are present. They don't just activate against one specific target. And so that way they can kind of overcome resistance, not only by being genetically locked in that state where they can activate the T cells, but then they can activate T cells against many different surface proteins, and therefore overcome any potential resistance, potentially.
Great.
That's
Thank you
the
so
idea.
much.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, congratulations again on your grant. We're very excited for you.
I'm really excited as well. Yeah, we've been, the brain tumor was the very first system we started with way back, about a decade ago when we started working on this project. And my research associate Teresa has been with me for 13 years. She'll be very excited because she loves, working in this area and has collected, all the data that we showed and has, expertise. We were trained by Michael Lim, who was here and now at Stanford, heads the neurosurgical department, was sort of a pioneer in immunotherapy for brain cancers. And they'll be excited to know that we're still working on this.